Imagine a criminal gang defrauds thousands of people around the country, scamming folks out of hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of dollars. They have spent most of it on lavish lifestyles or hidden it in offshore accounts, so returning the money to victims is impossible. Imagine there is significant evidence, victim declarations, and financial documents tying these criminals to the theft. Witnesses, including victims and conspirators, have been located, interviewed, and may be willing to testify. And imagine that a federal judge has granted a preliminary injunction shutting down the operation, freezing its assets, but the criminals are still on the street. Is this a case you would consider prosecuting? If the answer is yes, contact the Federal Trade Commission's Criminal Liaison Unit. The Criminal Liaison Unit enhances coordination between criminal law enforcement agencies and the FTC. The Federal Trade Commission is the only federal agency with general jurisdiction over consumer fraud. It's a civil law enforcement agency. We don't have criminal authority, and some offenders will be stopped only by criminal prosecution. Jennifer Williams is the Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania.
Because the FTC brought me such strong and organized evidence, I started off this investigation already being close to indictment. And I was able to focus my investigation on higher levels of evidence. I was able to really pinpoint the small holes in my case and focus on those rather than having to start from the ground up. This was a very large-scale fraud. There were 400,000 victims. The amount of losses exceeded $75 million.
After years of coordinated work, Jennifer and her team were able to get a 15-year sentence in this case.
It was incredibly gratifying to get this conviction. There were so many people who didn't think it could be done, and we did it, and we did it with the help of the FTC.
Here are the types of sentences prosecutors are getting working with the FTC.
This was brand new for me. I had not done a consumer fraud case before. I felt like I was not just out there on my own trying to figure this out, but had a really good support team who had already done a lot of the work and who were able to help me understand that evidence. And just the very fact that the FTC had successfully pursued a civil case against these targets had me very far along the way towards a criminal prosecution.
No matter what your priorities are, the FTC may have cases for you. We have many targets who have collectively stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from consumers, but who aren't currently facing prosecution. We can share substantial evidence and information about these potential targets, their scams, and their victims. The FTC's Criminal Liaison Unit is ready to help you prosecute and convict career criminals. Working together, we can all be much more effective, sharing our resources for a common goal and getting justice for consumers.